In this Picmonic, we are going to visit our favorite joint, the shoulder and shoulder exam. Shoulder issues are some of the most common complaints seen in outpatient care, and a shoulder exam can help identify concerns. First, we want to inspect the shoulder, looking at the skin, seen here as the skin suit, and shape, seen as the literal shape. Then, we need to palpate the shoulder. Structures that must be palpated are the humeral head, pictured as the funny bone head, the acromioclavicular joint, represented by the acorn man clavicle joint, and the surrounding muscles that make up the rotator cuff, seen as the rotating shoulders here. Just outside of the shoulder joint, we must also palpate the clavicle, shown here literally, and spine of the scapula, represented by the spine in the scapula in this Picmonic. Once we know where everything is in the shoulder, we need to know how the shoulder moves. Thus, the next step is testing range of motion. First, we must test the flexion of the shoulder, as represented by our strongman flexing his muscles. Normal flexion is 180 degrees and is tested by raising the shoulder to the front. Next, we must test the extension of the shoulder, shown here as the extension cord. Extension is tested by bringing the arm directly backwards with a normal range of 40 degrees. Abduction is represented by our character abs abducting next, with a normal range of 180 degrees. The arm is moved in an arc away from the body during this motion, lifting up to the side. Adduction has a normal range of 30 degrees and involves moving the arm toward the midline. Finally, we have rotation. Internal rotation has a normal range of 80 degrees and is represented by our character performing internal rotation of his arm. External rotation has a normal range of 90 degrees and is represented with our character externally rotating his arm. Both of these motions are completed by flexing the patient's shoulder and arm to 90 degrees prior to the physician stabilizing the scapula and rotating both internally and externally. So in summary, when performing a shoulder exam, first begin with inspecting the skin and shape of the shoulder joint. Then palpate the humeral head, the AC joint, the rotator cuff, the clavicle, and the spine of the scapula. Lastly, test the shoulder's range of motion with flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal rotation, and external rotation. And there you have it, the various aspects of a shoulder exam.
After years of doing mad science, I've finally done it. I have created life. But some things may not be quite right in there, so this creature needs a shoulder exam. First, we peel back the skin suit, keeping an eye out for any odd shapes, like that blue block. My son must have dropped that in there at some point. Oopsie-daisy. Next, we need to poke around. It seems the funny bone's lost his head. He's laughing like a madman and rotating his shoulders. It seems that little acorn man is hanging from the clavicle joint and tickling him. Get out of there, you scamp!
For the rest of the story, check out Picmonic.com and sign up for a free account. There, you can also take Picmonic's quiz. The quiz automatically sets up your daily quiz by using spaced repetition algorithms based on the questions you've missed or struggled with to make sure you study what you need when you need to.
And while you're there, check out the rest of our head-to-toe assessments Picmonics. We've got all the content you'll need to remember. Everything from cognitive abilities assessment, cerebellar assessment, skull, scalp, and hair assessment, head, face, and neck assessment, eye assessment, and so much more, so you can lock down on everything you need to know forever.
Play, quiz, and spaced repetition. Efficient, effective, and research proven to increase exam scores.